Hello, welcome to our Metaverse Stories podcast with me, your host, Ogie and Jeeves.
And your co-host, Haris Exalatic.
We will cover up all the emerging and new blockchain gaming.
Well, not just gaming NFTs, but the whole metaverse.
Yes, and not forget in partnership with
The Club.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Hey, this is Viceroy Ash here. I was talking to OG about a growth compound strategy, and he wanted me to come on here and run this by you guys. So essentially, what it's going to allow you to do is sort of build up your war chest. So let me start with explaining that you're earning Atlas while your ship is staked. And then what you do is you, of course, buy your resources with your Atlas, and then whatever is left over is essentially, your net earnings, right? Well, instead of letting your net earnings simply sit in your wallet, whether it's a Phantom wallet, whatever wallet you're using, you could actually take your Atlas and put it to work for you in yield farming strategies, such as one on the radium.io exchange. And Radium basically is a decentralized exchange. I believe it's a branch of the, the Serum exchange. And it's all on the blockchain network. The Solana blockchain network, so the fees are minimal. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy the resources, and ideally if you had enough to buy in bulk maybe 6 months to a year supply of resources, I think you'll be closer to locking in your return on investment, or at least that target. And the reason for that is the prices could fluctuate for the resources, and if you're buying them on an as needed basis. Whereas if you buy them for the long term, you kind of buy them, you're locking in that price. You're buying them for that price, and that's going to kind of really help you keep on target for what your return on investment with your Atlas. So after you get your supplies bought up, anything after that is going to be pretty much your profit share, your profit margin. The thing is, every time you buy supplies, you have these little transaction fees. So just keep that in mind as well. Now I have 2 Opal jets and I have an X5. The 2 Opal jets are actually kind of expensive because you have to buy the food, and then and they go through it quite a bit. And then, the transactions, it's, you have more transactions as opposed to the X5. So that's just kind of my experience on that one. But getting back on target here, you can compound your Atlas through yield farming strategies on the radium.io exchange, and that's going to help you grow your funds a lot quicker, that you can then turn around and buy another ship with, if you can compound it quick enough. And if you can do the strategy effectively, so you can buy another ship, and then you do the same thing. It's a rinse and repeat formula. You'll again buy your bulk supplies, and then take your Atlas. If you have it going to your wallet and accumulating, we'll let it accumulate so much, and then put it into the yield farming strategy again. And you can continue to do this, and pretty soon you'll look up and you can have a fleet of ships. You'll have your Atlas treasury built, and your DAO treasury built, your polis token treasury, and all those things. Your assets like that are added. It adds to your war chest. So when the game launches, you got a really good, strong advantage early on. You have your fleet. You have a treasury of Atlas for purchases in the game, and then you have your DAO treasury for rewards. So that's that's something to really consider. But what you do is you go on the Radium exchange, and then you'll go down to you want to pair your Atlas and to your Radium. So you'll go on to liquidity, and you'll pair that. Then you'll click over, you go to farming, you'll scroll down. There's two different farming pools right now that I'm using myself. One of them is going to be the Atlas to Radium dual yield farming pool, and that basically means that you're staking both and you're earning both. One thing to consider, people talk about, is the impermanent loss, and that's basically whenever you stake both, but you end up getting more of one certain token than the other, and that one that you earn the most in may not be as valuable as the other one. And I guess that's all predicated on how the investors are directing the pool, if you want to call it that. But anyway, so you'll stake that, and you'll yield Atlas and Radium. And another one is that you have the Polis and Radium dual yielding pool as well. So you can do the same thing. You can stake Polis and Radium and earn the Polis and Radium by doing that. So when you have your account earning for you, at any point you can go in and you can harvest, or it's claim it, but they call it harvesting on the Radium exchange. You click the harvest button, and that's gonna that'll release your rewards back into your Phantom wallet. And now there's no minimum, from what I could see, to stake, and there's no lock-in contracts to deal with on this one. So that's the beauty of it. The Atlas one, last I checked, was earning a 108% APR, and I think it was around a $30 million total value locked liquidity pool, farming pool rather. And then the Radium, I think it was at 111% APR and around the same 39 million TVL. So that's something to consider, though. I mean, you can do that strategy with Atlas and with Polis, and you can, you're compounding your earnings basically. So it's saying that I'm getting my rewards for staking my ship, but then I'm doing something with those rewards where it rewards me even more, So, and then something else to consider too, I think, is you're staking your ship. It's my understanding is staking on the network supports the network. And then of course you're participating in this game, and it's helping, I think, really keep this thing going. And that, and then also you're accumulating more ships, adding to your fleet. You're accumulating more Atlas, which is building up, your Atlas treasury, and then you're accumulating more Polis, which is adding to your Polis treasury. So all those things really add to a war chest. So when the game starts, when it goes to fully launch, you have a pretty good advantage early on from having all these assets and resources at your disposal. And now another thing I wanted to talk about was the difference between the Atlas and the DAO token, from what my understanding of it is. And that's that the Atlas coin is really for in-game use, and it's inflationary, and they can mine it on an as-needed basis, when the full game launches. And it's it's likely to have fluctuations in value. But the DAO token, the Polis DAO token is a little bit more unique than that, and in the regard that you actually earn rewards for holding it. It's finite in supply. It's DAO tokens are considered to be governance tokens. But the fact that you have to look at it this way, the fact is this game is going to get much bigger. There's going to be a larger player base, and there's only going to be so many DAO tokens. And then also they're talking about the possibility of this game being on other blockchains as well. So it's called interoperability. And if that's successful, I mean, this game could get so large in this metaverse that it's on other blockchains. And, imagine the player base at that point. I mean, if you had World of Warcraft with millions of people globally playing that, imagine if Star Atlas was to get to that, something of that size. You really want to hold those DAO tokens at that point. That's my opinion. I mean, this isn't financial advice, and everybody should really do their own research into it. But I'm personally accumulating DAO and Atlas and staking my ships and trying to add to my fleet. And the more that I can compound this strategy and the more ships I can buy, and stake, that's that much more income streams coming in for me, through the Atlas reward mechanism. And I have my own goals. I really would like to get up on a level where I can have a C9 or a C11, just by doing these growth strategies like I am. And I certainly have big aspirations in this game. So I really look forward to it. I look forward to, playing with all you guys on this platform and, exploring space. And it's going to be just an awesome, enterprise. But anyway, guys, I'll let y'all get back to your day. And I appreciate giving me some of your time there. And God bless.
See you all on the next episode of
Metaverse Gaming Stories with us.
With us, Ogie and Jeeves and Haris Exalatic.
Bye. See you next time.